Good evening and welcome to Meta News. This is Horizon World's premier news source, and I am El Blanco, and you're at the business El Blanco Business News segment. And tonight we're going to discuss a few things about social media management. Social media management. Okay, so we're all in the VR world, as you can see. Within the metaverse, and other people are in other places like Second Life and so forth, and different communities are being built all the time. We're gonna have a plethora of places to be within the metaverse. So here we're in Horizon Worlds, and that's a lot to be said about Horizon Worlds. It's just like there was a lot to be said about Alt Space, who eventually shut down. And people came to Horizon Worlds and still going out to other places, and still frequently going to places like VR Chat and so forth. And in all of these platforms, there are opportunities to do business, as well as enjoy yourself, socialize, and relax and meditate, whatever it is that you use the virtual world for. So, once again, I'm speaking in terms of business. I'm gonna always be speaking from the perspective of business, and I want to enlighten our audience and our viewers about all the opportunities that you may have never thought of, or you don't know that's available to you. So, when we talk about social media management, um, the whole industry, the workforce, or let's say the corporate world, they know that the most efficient way to reach the customers and clients is through the integrated network web of social platforms, with Facebook being one of the biggest ones, with billions of accounts, billions of profiles. And those profiles are also attached to social media like Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, all types of social platforms, where those are also avenues and networking platforms, as well as opportunities, because you can network, you can market, you can actually, redirect people to your actual web page if you have your own web page, or you could send them to your Facebook page and Facebook business page and things as such. So, with all of these things being integrated and networked, even with different phone apps, um, it is paramount and imperative that you understand social media and how social media marketing plays its part in the world of business as we live today, because everything is digital, and everything that's digital is the majority of it is being integrated with AI to give digital um, capacities to things that would normally be just static tools. Now these tools are taking on personalities, and they can talk, they can answer questions, they can redirect, they can solve problems, and they can illustrate based on all the data before it that's been placed into the database that it draws from. So think of YouTube. When YouTube when something you need to see how to do, how to change a tire, how to change a light bulb. Dry humor, but how to change a light bulb. And you can go to YouTube, and YouTube always has an illustration for that. And that's why YouTube is so popular, because there's always someone that's going to show you how to properly grow a plant, how to properly plant a seed, how to properly cut down a tree. In some cases, they will even tell you how to, solve a math problem. YouTube is that robust. That's why it's so much content on YouTube. And when you have people who are dedicated to providing that content and provide expertise that you can just do a search on and find out about, that's what makes it valuable, that content itself. So then, you have YouTube, and you can look over at the LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is, for mainly for professionals in the workforce, for people who are networking and showing their job skills and trying to get employed and trying to impress upon executives in other companies, and try to build relationships and get a rapport, so that they may transfer over to that company or get recommended for another position that they may not have been aware of that they are eligible for, but don't have the connections it takes to land that job. So, understanding that, I want to speak from the standpoint of management tools, because here we are. in Horizon Worlds, and we as individuals, we have businesses we're trying to promote on the outside. So we're trying to create presence inside the VR world. Um, we have services on the outside that we can provide in here to the people that's here who may not even be in the area that we're in. So, the internet and the VR world creates you a expands your market, your market reach, and it can create more market share for you than you would normally have in the geographical radius that you're already serving. So now, so we're talking about this social media management. So the first thing I would suggest that anyone do is to just simply look up, what it really is. You know what I'm saying? What is social media management for those who heard about it but don't know about it, right? So as I'm looking, I may be looking up on the screen here, but I'm looking on a different screen under my headset. So if I look a little off, I'm looking at a different screen. But when you talk about social media management, you need to understand how to manage it if you plan on doing it yourself. And even if you're not planning on doing it yourself, you have to know about it so that if you do plan on hiring someone or using someone's assistance, you would know what it is that it entails and how you could best use it for yourself. So, with social media management, you would have to know how to, create content. So there's tools out there, even free tools out there to show you how to create social media content. And if you're going to look at those tools, you got to make sure that those tools are interactive or they're compatible for your other tools that you're going to actually be utilizing it to even advertise or even put the content that you created on. And then, you have to understand about team member management because some of these tools are for teams because it's a big undertaking sometime when you're doing certain types of social media management. You may have someone that's actually making the videos, someone who may be editing and putting the music with the voice tracks or things like that, depending on how robust your ads are going to be or your promotions are going to be, right? And then you may have someone that's doing search engine optimization. That means they're trying to make sure that on the Google searches or any other search browsers that yours is making it to the top so that every time someone is doing a search, you will be at least at the top 10. You want to be on that front page if possible. And that takes certain knowledge on how the algorithms work and hashtags and things like that. So you'll learn about those things. Um, and then part of the content creation is really dealing with reputation management because in social media there's so many ways you could put something out and get backlash or it's looked at wrong, taken the wrong way. Well, people who do who do social media management, one of the main things that they're focusing on is reputation management, right? And then you have management and scheduling tools that comes with social media management. So it's a lot of different tools that you will begin to learn about and know about to integrate with whatever tools or whatever professional you're using. And then you have the thing of paid social media ads, right? So you can actually have paid ads to direct people to you once you use the algorithms and the other metrics to locate your targets, whether they're a million people or a billion people. Once you can target them and have specific content or specific services or products that market is looking for, then you can go through that route because it may cost you $500, but it's going to turn you over $100,000 in responses. Um, then you have social media company managements, right? So I'm sorry, community managements. Now we talk about social media community managements because you got this community of Facebook, you got communities in Instagram and so forth and so on, just like we have a community in Horizons. Even those can be targeted once you understand social media management. You know what I'm saying? So basically, we're looking at the fact that everything is digitized And what isn't digitized will soon be digitized, and everything will be fully digitized. Um, and in the near future, almost everything is going to be, what they call it, I don't want to use the wrong word. I'll just say it's gonna have robotics. A lot of things will not be operating in the way they used to operate. There'll be robotics doing a lot of tasks that menial tasks, like repeated tasks that humans would have normally done for $10 an hour or less, right? So as we're moving into this age further into the 21st century, because we are actually in the 21st century, these are the things you expect to see. When we were younger, they used to show us cartoons about the Jetsons, saying that you're going to have cars that's going to be floating, they won't, or flying, and things like that. Well, they have those. We just call them, drones, different types of drones, right? They don't look like the land speeder, but if you look at a drone will float right above the ground and it can go up and down. The bigger they are, the more payload they can carry. You have humans been testing drones and playing over the water in them forever, and now the military uses them, and they're here. And sometimes my friends and I, we talk about what business we were going to get into, and one of the businesses I say I'll be into in the future is drones. I'll be doing private private deliveries, I'll be a private courier, with drones. Because if I have a drone that's tied into a navigation system, and it has the 5G capabilities going to be out here, to get there safely and get there back, and it's a program, and it won't require gas. It just requires energy. It don't have to be gas for the energy. But yes, so not to deviate too far from it, but that's what it is. So meter management. So let's say, for instance, you don't have any idea how it works, but you need it real bad because you know that you got to do some things, expand some business. Well, you got places. I'm gonna go into a different site here. I'm gonna jump over here to a site. Give me a second to find my cursor. Um, I'm going to a site where I've done business in the past with, and this is, yeah, Upwork. Upwork is a website where you can actually hire people who freelance, and when you have sites like Upwork and Fiverr and things like that, they're more like escrows, but it's still a business platform, more like an escrow, where if you do a service, the person's not paid until the elements of the contract is fulfilled. And it's almost like the first stage before we get into smart contracts, because contracts are going to do the same thing. Money isn't released or paid out until the contract is fulfilled, and it's built into the contract. But right now, Upwork is where you do it manually, where you go in and say, "Hey, I need these services," and they'll show you all the people who work on the Upwork. You can look at the profiles, and if these people are the people you're targeting, like so forth. You may have a person who has done 100 jobs as opposed to a person who's done 20, but the person who's done 20 is charging $200 an hour, while the person who's done the 100, they could have done like, um, she hit the button, Miss Rocks, you hit the button by accident, and I'm sorry, yes, and the person who's done more, they could have it may have been just charging 20 an hour. So it's up to you, depending on the expertise and what's affordable. But once you get your social media management in place, you are really expected to increase whatever you're making by 40 to 60%, because you're reaching that much more volume. So thank you for tuning in. I'm El Blanco. This is the Meta News Business segment again. You've now I forgot which segment this is, but this is probably my 16th or more segments, and you can see them all if you go to our YouTube channel on Meta News for Horizon Worlds VR. That's our channel, and we have many other channels that you can look at, and we have robust news for Horizon Worlds, and we're the premier news source. And we thank you for tuning in, and tune in again. Good night.